All right, JMC 6000 here. Here I got the two Equinoxes, and we're going to do a comparison between the two of them. Let me turn the camera and show you what we got going on. So we got the 24. I forget what color this is, but some kind of blue color, looks like. The 24 here, and then compare that to the 25 right there. Show you the differences and see if we can see if a decision can be made. Is it really worth saving about $2,000 versus this guy right here? So let's go into it. I'll show you the window sticker. 2430 for the fuel mileage, 26 combined. It's got the same engine and transmission. Actually, no, different transmission. 6-speed versus the new one is an 8-speed. And this one is MSRP at 35, but I think they're taking another $1,500 off. And then the new one, similar fuel mileage. In fact, this has 8 speeds, same engine, but it actually goes down on the highway with the, that's weird. Anyway, 36.6 for the new one, both the same trim. So let's compare. Let's open up the back hatch. I think they're going to be around the same. Both have power lift gates. So you can see the room back here. The new one is based off the same frame as this old one. So the rear end is going to be somewhat similar compared to two, as you can see right here. In fact, I think the new one has a bigger opening. Actually looks bigger. Let's check that out. Okay, maybe the same size opening. Forgot to look in here. It looks like it does come with a spare. Got some nice storage underneath there. As you can see right here, decent size opening. Let's kind of zoom out a little bit. There we go, that's better. Let's see if the old one came with a spare. Don't know if it did or not, but let's check that out. Kind of an impromptu video. This has some nice cargo in the back. Oh yeah, the exact same design. The exact same design. I almost think of the new one as like a refresh, since it's based off the same frame, same engine, almost the same transmission. But all right, let's go ahead and check out the new one real quick, and then let's check out the room in the second row. Compare the two. What I love about the Equinox is this flat load floor. Look at this. You got air vents in the back, USB-Cs. This is kind of Chevy's faux leather. I forget what they call it, but it is perforated. It's not cool, but it is perforated, which is nice. You know, to see a black in here, but you do got the panoramic moonroof. Some good room back here, and I love how it has a flat floor in the back. Decent quality on the door panels. Let's compare the second row now to the old one. Oh, on a side note, they both run 18-inch rims. That's an 18, the design on the old one, and that's an 18, the design on the new one. Both 18-inch rims, very similar size tires. Sorry, 17-inch rims. Oh man, why am I sitting up here? I gotta sit in the back. I'm all over the place in this video. All right. Decent room, flat load floor. You get air vents, you get the USB-A charging ports. But this one has this, it's decent feeling cloth. It's not the best feeling cloth. You can tell this interior is a little bit lower rent than the new one. You do got a panoramic moonroof, but it definitely, the interior quality back here doesn't feel as nice back in the old one as it does in the new one. Okay, let's compare front now. Let's do the old one first, since I was there. All right. Now, as you can see, I don't have the key with me, but this is the old dash. Got the old helper screen right here. This is the 8-inch, the older system by GM. It's all hard plastic up here. This is padded right here, which is nice. Decent size center console. Little pop-out tray. You actually got a real gated shifter. And you got some all-wheel drive, parking sensors, manual controls for everything, for the climate, Some buttons for the touchscreen there. And again, this is just the older system. It's, this dash very much reminds me of the dearly departed Malibu. Nothing fancy. And then you can tell the cloth. It is soft touch on this vinyl part of the doors, but that is it. Definitely not as nice feeling as the new one. So let's go ahead and hop into the new one. All right. Okay, now we're in the new one. Of course, you can see all new gauge cluster, all new Google-based infotainment screen right here. A lot better. I believe this is like 11 inches, and this is 11 inches. I wanted to say 15, but that's in the new Traverse. But this has a very similar design as the new Traverse. You got some nice wireless charging, got some nice trays, rubberized trays right here, some manual controls, heated seats. This is for your climate. And then, of course, everything is touch-based in here. The shifter is now this stupid joystick shifter. I'm not a big fan of it. I'd rather have the gated shifter in the old one. But this is nice and soft touch. This is nice and soft touch. The dash is nice and soft touch. I do like the quality of the air vents. They really, really feel nice. Oh, that's really nice. I like this. Got some buttons here. Nice center console. It's not as big as the old one. It's decent size. You get some more storage here. And the seats, again, this faux leather from GM in this Chevy Equinox with perforations. And then you get the nice stitching on the door. It's definitely a different material. It's not very smooth. It kind of has a texture to it. For this vinyl, it's the same on the door as on the dash, as on the center. And this white stitching throughout. Of course, the panoramic moonroof, nice day-night vision mirror, and then you got some piano black plastic right here. Not a big fan of, but you do get some nice chrome trim here on the door handle. Anyway, let me tell you my likes and dislikes with the new one. I love the better technology in here. That is definitely a highlight versus the old one. The old one definitely feels archaic compared to this one. Another like I have is I like the roominess this has. The Equinox definitely feels roomy, definitely feels spacious. Love down here. And then also another like I have is just it looks better. It looks more in line with the regular design language of course, the Traverse, the Blazer, some of these other newer Chevys, even the Trax. Some lowlights on the new Equinox. Again, they're running the exact same engine. It adds 2 more gears to the transmission, but you actually get worse fuel economy on the highway than you did in the old one. I don't get it. And this engine, Chevy doesn't offer an option. It's either a 1.5 with either the turbo 1.5, either with a CVT or with the 8-speed automatic. That's it. You don't get a 2-liter. You don't get more horsepower. You don't get anything. So that's kind of a demerit to this thing. But again, you're not buying Equinox to run drag races, but I mean, you can get a turbo in the CX-5. I mean, a 2-liter, 2.5 turbo in the CX-5 or in the CX-50. You can get a 2-liter turbo with 250 horsepower in the Escape or in the Bronco Sport. There's other options out there. You can get more power out of a RAV4 hybrid versus the Equinox. So that's kind of a downside. Second downside, again, not a big fan of this shifter. I wish it would have stuck with the gated shifter like in the old one. I'm not a big fan of this column shifter from GM. It's just cheap, chintzy. It's kind of garbage. And then final dislike, again, as far as interior-wise, it's just a sea of black in here. Absolute sea of black. I mean, there's some highlights and everything, but it's an absolute sea of black in here. And at least the old one has a little bit of color. But, again, there's some trade-offs. I'm sure you can get some discounts on the old one. But the new one does have the better technology. But you're not gaining anything as far as more horsepower. You may be getting 2 more speeds in the transmission, but that doesn't translate into better fuel economy. In fact, it translates into 1 miles per gallon worse on the highway versus the old one. So kind of confusing on how they're structuring this. Other than that, I would say, I hate to say this, but I would say, man, if you can find a deal on the older Equinoxes, that might be the better deal versus trying to get one of these new ones. If you can find a good deal on the older Equinoxes, maybe the dealership wants to take $2 to $3 to $5 grand off because they're very similarly priced. I would say go for the older one. I don't think the updated screens and because it's the same powertrain, the same frame, everything's the same underneath. I don't think the updated screens and the really just somewhat updated seats are really much more of a benefit versus getting this one over the old one. I'm serious. Let's go one more time in that old one, and then we'll wrap this up. I mean, if you could score this thing for $2 to $25 to $3 cheaper, why in the world? I mean, I just don't see how this one. I mean, yes, the interior is not as nice, but you get more color in this interior. I love the gray. Yes, the seats are not the faux leather with the perforations, but this cloth is not bad. It's going to be durable, I will say that. And I do like the gray with the black. This doesn't feel too bad. I mean, yes, it is a cheaper dash material, cheaper interior. But again, if you can live with more hard controls and everything, I don't see a benefit with going with the new Equinox, especially since you run the same engine, same platform. Everything else is the same. Even the size is the same. Why would you spend the extra money on the new Equinox versus, I mean, yes, the styling is better, but I don't see why you would go with the new one versus finding a good deal on this old one and rocking the old one. I mean, you still get Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. I think it's plug-in only. It's not wireless like in the new one, but if you can deal with the cord, I mean, this system is fine. I mean, you got a lot of hard controls, which is nice. This screen is kind of basic, but at least it gives some good information. You know, I just don't see the justification of spending the extra money, especially since the powertrain's in the frame and everything else is just pretty much exactly the same. Anyway, just my 2 cents, JMC 6000. Thank you for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Love for you guys, and love you guys to be able to tune into this and check out more videos that are to come. And we'll catch you on the next one. Be blessed. Thank you.